Today's topic is going to be on internet help and learning. We'll talk about how and where to search, use of manuals, tutorials, and help, and some troubleshooting. First, I'll show you. I'll actually show you how you can get the recording in that, because this is new since the last time we met, and I've done some stuff with Carondelet on their website, so it'll be out there. A little bio. My name is Tom Kreuzer, PC guy, son of John and Joan at Carondelet. Joan did leave us September 10th, 2021. I worked at 3M for 40 years in their information technology, IT area. I present and am an officer of the 3M Personal Computing Club. I do offer free computer help. I'm thrifty, I'm not cheap, so I usually find solutions and software that is either free or inexpensive there. We do have a Fix-It clinic along with my brother-in-law who is in here and my sister. That'll be coming up on October 11th, and there'll be slots if you have appliances or electronics or anything that is broken. We'll attempt to fix it. We can't guarantee anything, but we'll give it our best shot there. Topic for October is going to be on calendars. So a lot of people either don't use their calendar or may not know how to use the calendar, whether it's on your phone or your tablet or your PC or smart device. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about what it can do, how you can set up events and reminders and tasks, and how you can share calendars with your friends and family. This is the Carondelet website, and this is where I have now added an area out here. It's called Tech Help, and underneath this Tech Help, there's four options there. One is a calendar, and that'll be the calendar to show some of the Fix-It stuff, the presentations, and one-on-one help. Also, there's a resource one. That'll have the past meetings and recordings and handouts from some of the meetings there. An FAQ page. Right now there's nothing on the FAQ, but I'll add stuff in there about some common questions and how to do some things here at Carondelet. And then there's a page, a link to a page for asking a question. So you can use that to contact me, or you can email or call or whatever there. And let's go out here. Let's see if I can get out here. Let's go here. So if we go out to the Carondelet Village website, this is what the website looks like. There's an option called Tech Help. And underneath here, calendar. The calendar shows the calendar. So like today's the 27th. Oh, you found it there? Okay. Thank you. Dad? Oh, 1, 2. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Okay. Okay, so this will have the calendar out here, and this will kind of somewhat tie in with next month when we talk about calendars, because I'll show you ways where you can add these items to your calendar automatically, but you can also check the calendar for things coming up too. So just to let you, the resources I mentioned has a list of the future meetings here, but it also has the past meetings, and there's videos and handouts here. So like our last meeting was on podcasts. If I click on this link for the video, and we're taken here to, I guess I paused it here. You can get the video. Okay, maybe we'll get started. Thank you. I want to say thank you to everybody for coming today. Our topic is going to be email tips and tricks. My name is Tom Kreuzer, so we won't have to play. But if you did miss one or want to see one, you can go back and you can see that. Okay, let's go back to the presentation. So there's a few things out there, and we'll be adding other things out there to try and make it easy for people with their common questions and what goes on there over time. Okay, the main topic today is how to find help or learning by myself, Tom Kreuzer. The internet can provide a wealth of information. It may take looking at several links to find a solution, but you should be able to find help and learning for just about anything in the world. Since there's literally millions of websites and billions of people around the world that are putting stuff out on the internet, you can find about anything out there. First, we'll talk about how and where to do a search. Personally, I use Google. Google is the most popular search engine for doing your searches, but basically any of the major searches. And here's a list of some of the more popular. You have Microsoft, and you have Yahoo, and Ask Jeeves, and so you have all these other search engines also that work, and they work very similar. But when I show an example here, I'll be showing how Google works and that. Most of these search engines, when you're searching for stuff, contain advanced search options, and that's what I'll describe also, because over the years I found a lot of people will do Google searches, but they may not get exactly what they want, or you get millions of results and you can't find exactly what you're looking for, and the advanced search can help you do that. Also, I mentioned here with the Chrome browser and the Microsoft Edge browser, when you do a Google search, if your device, whether it's a laptop or a phone or a desktop, if you have a microphone on it, you can use the microphone instead of typing on your keyboard, and that can make it easier to do the searches. So it's similar to if you're using on Alexa, or if you're using the voice commands on your phone or tablet. Accessing the microphone? There shouldn't be. So if you have like a laptop, the first time you go into the browser, it may ask you to grant it permission to use the microphone, but it should be able to see that you have a microphone. Now, some people have a desktop or that doesn't have a microphone or a video camera, but basically all laptops have cameras and microphones built into them. Okay. Okay, when you're typing in to do a search, some people worry about spelling and capitalization. It really doesn't matter, so you don't have to capitalize, worry about the uppercase and things like that, or spelling, because Google will automatically correct for the things there. You do want to be as specific as possible. So for this example, and when I show some of the things, I'll be asking it how to change the print margins in a PDF. Now, you may not want to do that, but that's just an example of how to ask a question there. You can limit your results. So when you do a search like that, you get results back from Google there, and you'll see down here, you'll have the ability to see everything where that search matches, or if you want to just see videos, you can just see videos. If you were shopping, you could just get results from shopping sites with that terminology that you use. If you were looking for news, you could just get the news sites. Or if you're looking for pictures or images, you can just get the images. So these are kind of a quick filter in the search to just see a certain type of result there. Okay, before we get into some detail here, let's go over here. So if I go back here to my browser, and in my browser I'm at the Google search, well, you'll see here's a little microphone here. So instead of me typing here, I can click on this and ask my question. So we'll try that. How do I change the margins in a PDF?
According to SOTA PDF, the option to set custom margins can be found in the same place as the standard ones. Open the Edit tab, choose Margin, pick Page Margin Set.
So it'll allow you, if I didn't get exactly what I wanted and wanted to try it, I can ask it for anything in the world there, and it'll go through and it'll show me the results there. Okay, in addition, if I get too many results, so even with this result here, you can see that it found 136 million pages out on the internet have something related to how to change the margins in a PDF. And that's a lot of pages to go through, so I might want to narrow it down a little more. Well, the easiest way to narrow it down is Google also lets you do an advanced search. So if I click on this little gear up here and click on Settings, it has an option in here called Advanced Search. So if I click on that, now I have all of these options that I can use when I'm searching to help me narrow it down and get exactly what I'm looking for there. And we'll go back to the presentation here and we'll quickly talk about some of these things. So the first area that it talks about is it'll look for all the words. So when I typed how to change the margins in a PDF, they didn't have to be in any particular order. It's just somewhere on the page or in the title or in the video, it talked about PDFs and margins and that. If you want to limit it to an exact phrase, that's where you can put what you're searching for in the double quotes. So in this case, if I had just typed rat terrier, I would have gotten all pages that had the word rat somewhere in there, and maybe further on down that mentioned terrier. But the exact phrase, those two words have to be exactly next to each other for it to show me the results there. So it's a way to tell the search, this is exactly what I'm looking for. Then you have any of these words, you can either put an or in between there. So when you do this, all the words there, it means all those words have to be on the page that it shows you as a result. But if I wanted it, I wanted it to say miniature or standard, I could put the or in there, and then it would show me pages that might have miniature on there but don't have standard, or might have standard and don't have miniature on there. So one of those words is on there. And then there's another option called none of these words, and you can tell it that these words, because I was getting millions of results back, if I knew that I didn't want certain words in there, like I didn't want Jack Russell, I could tell it disregard all pages that contain the exact word Jack Russell there. This is a handy feature when you're looking for dates or you're looking for cost of something or things like that. You can put in a range. and by putting in a range, so let's say you're looking for a sale price of something, you can say, tell me the sale price of a new laptop between $200 and $600, and you can actually limit it to just those pages that have laptops between $200 and $600, and that's by putting the dash there. And you can do it for pounds, dollars, years. Here we're just looking for an article or that might have the year 2010 to 2011 in it, so you can get exactly. Language, most of us are English, so, well, all of us are English there, or English speaking, but if you spoke other languages or wanted results from a different language, you can specify exactly the languages that you want. Region, you can find pages published in a particular region, so that can help you. Last update, this is a handy one, so if there's a relatively new topic that you're looking for and you only want the things that have occurred in the last week or last month, you can tell it, I just want to see information about this that is showing up in the last week. You won't get something that's 10 years old or 5 years old or anything like that. You'd be able to limit it to just those pages that have been updated recently there. Site or domain, so you can limit it to a particular site. If a particular site, let's say Carondelet, doesn't have a search capability built into it, I can use the Google search and tell it to search all of the pages in the Carondelet site and look for certain things and only tell me those pages within the Carondelet site there will show up. Terms appearing anywhere on the page, so you can just search for page titles. If it's in the URL, the long www name there, if it's in there, you can search for the words or that in a particular area. Safe search, this is used if you have kids and you wanted it to filter out explicit content, it will filter out explicit content. File type, if you knew that you were looking for a PDF document, you can tell it, I just want to find PDF documents about a particular subject there. And usage rights, you can find pages that are free, so that if you're looking to copy them or make them available in a newsletter or something like that, this will let you filter it so that you're free to use it in any way that you want. Okay, when you do get your search results, what you're going to see is you're going to see Google showing you what matched. Unfortunately, Google makes money by selling ads, and Google sells ads to a number of companies, and those companies pay to have their company or their particular website listed as one of the top things in Google. So what Google does is Google puts this AD, meaning ad there, are from companies that have paid to have their results shown at the top of the search results. So personally myself, I usually don't look at whatever has an AD on it because it's not a true indicator of how popular that website is or how useful it is. It's only that they've paid money to have their results shown there. So I usually stay away from the paid ones there. And also for the ads, be skeptical of reviews. So if you're looking for, you're going to buy a new phone and you're looking for reviews and you see this ad there, well, chances are it's some company trying to promote their phone, so they're going to say that their phone is the best phone. It's not a true unbiased review of the results there. Okay, how and where to search. If you're looking for PC stuff or questions or equipment or things like that, these are sites that I recommend. This is PC Magazine. PC Magazine has been around for 40 years, and they are not influenced by hardware vendors or software vendors. ZDNet is also another one that I recommend. Tom's Guide, that's not my website. Tom's is an industry leader in reviews and things like that, and it's another one that's been around for a long time and well-respected website. And then this other one is makeuseof.com, and all of these sites are good for product reviews or articles on the latest in computer technology. You're looking for how things work. This is a useful site that I send people out to if they don't understand how some of the things work, and it can be computer related, but it also can be just about any subject or anything under the sun. It'll usually have a video or pages explaining how something works there. There are millions of other sites out there also to explain things. If you're looking for questions or have a question for a vendor, you bought a new HP computer or a new TV or something like that, you're best to start out at the vendor's website, because they usually have a lot of information about the product that you bought, and also some tips or information on how to help you out. You can also contact me with a question or sign up for a time slot with the Carondelet Computer Tutor. There's slots on Tuesdays and Thursdays of most weeks there. So that's another way to get help if you can't find it yourself or how to search there. This is another thing that a lot of people that I talk with are not aware of. Ever since Windows 10 was installed, Microsoft added a new piece of software called Microsoft's Get Help app. And the Get Help app is on every Windows 10 machine, and it's part search engine and part portal for reaching customer support. Comes installed on Windows 10 and is free to use. So if you go to the Start menu and scroll down to the G's, you'll see a Get Help there. You start out with a virtual chat bot where you can type in a question, and then it'll show you some answers there. So you can attempt to find it yourself without any help, but you can also at any time, if you want to talk with a human, you can say, I want to message. If you want to message a human, you can type in human, and then that'll connect you to Microsoft Help and let you get at things. So if we take a look here, let me quickly do this. So if we go down here, I'll minimize some of these. So you go down to your Start menu here. I go down to my G's here, and here we see Get Help. So if I click on that, you can type in your question here. Unfortunately, this doesn't have the microphone, so you're going to have to type in a question. But you know, we can type in how to change. Change. And so it'll come up with some topics and try and narrow it down. So it's trying to narrow it down and then get you to the right help. But if you want to chat with somebody, you can click on this Contact Support, and if I click on that, it'll ask you, what problem are you having? What is it with Windows? Is it with Microsoft 365? your Surface, MSN, or other products. So if you're having a question about Windows, you can do that, and then it's select the category. Is it device drivers, other accessories, Microsoft accessories? So it'll let you select that, and then when I click confirm, what it'll do is it'll connect you to a live human being, and then you'll start a chat session where they'll help you out. So it's free help. It's available. It's on all Windows 10 machines, and when I talked to the 3M PC Club, I think that when I asked one time, we had about 30 or 40 people, and I think only one other person had ever used it. So most people don't know about it, and that, but it's there. Go to the Get Help, and you can get help. Okay, let's go back here. Okay, the next thing that computers are great for is manuals. So most vendors no longer give you a printed manual with their products, but you can find many full PDF manuals online. So when you buy a phone or you buy a TV or you buy stuff, they usually give you a getting started, which may be a little sheet or stuff like that. But if you want to know the full capabilities of what you bought, usually getting the detailed manual, user manual, is very worthwhile there. You can usually find those by doing a simple Google search. You can use the vendor, so if it's a case of, oh, it's a Samsung TV and it's model number XXXXY, and put the word manual in there, Google will come up usually with results there that'll point to a PDF manual for the TV. When you find the manual, I recommend that you save that PDF to your PC and keep it in a directory. I have a directory on my PCs under Documents / Manuals, and I put all the manuals for all the things that, all the devices that I get. I'll download and I'll have it there. And I'll put it along with the vendor name and the model and the date. So I have the manuals available there. I mentioned here, do not print the manual. Some of the manuals are very long. So like I think my phone that I have, I think the manual is 498 pages or something like that. You wouldn't want to print out something that big. Also, it's a case of PDFs, once you have them on your computer and that, are easy to search to find exactly what you're looking for and get to the right chapter or the right area there. I mentioned here when buying a new smartphone, PC, TV, or tablet, or really any electronic device, it's useful to download the manual. And then I recommend reading it cover to cover. You don't have to read it all in one day. Read a few pages, 10, 20 pages a day. It'll expose you to hundreds of features and functions that you most likely would never even known that device could do. And here I mentioned most people only know about 10 to 20% of what some of their devices do. So people will have phones and they don't know how the cameras work, or I'll say to them, well, you know, that picture might have looked a little better if you had taken it in panoramic, and they go, oh, my camera doesn't do panoramic. And I go, yes, your camera does do panoramic. Every camera that's out there can do panoramic. You just have to know, oh, it's under settings, or if I push here, I get to this, and I can change the mode, and you can get your camera into the different modes there. Sure.
So what does PDF stand for?
PDF, I don't know. Gary, do you know what? It's a document format. I don't know if it's professional document format or... Yeah, it's a way of taking printed pages and storing them in a computer. And when they're in PDF format, they're easy to search because you can search for the text that's in there. Unlike taking a picture, you couldn't search for the text or that. This allows you to search for the text, or if I wanted to copy some of the text out of here into a presentation or into a Word document or an email to send somebody, I can. So it's a format that makes it easy to read stuff, and the pages can contain graphics and text. So you can have both those on there. Okay. I mentioned here I buy used PC equipment at church sales or garage sales, and a lot of people don't buy this stuff or old electronics because clock radio because they don't know how to set it or do anything. Well, you can go online, you can find a manual, and you can figure out how to use these various things. Okay, we'll take a quick look here. So here's a PDF file for a Samsung TV that I have. And if I open it up, this is the manual, and this manual is 188 pages long. So that's part of the reason I don't recommend that you print it out, because a lot of the stuff you're never going to use. The PDF here, this has a table of contents. I can jump directly to an area there. So if I click on the link, I can go back and forth, I can copy text, but this will tell me the detail and some of the features and functions in the TV that I would have never found if I hadn't read the manual. So reading manuals is a good thing. Don't have to read all 188 pages right away when you get the TV, but at some point you'll find it very useful to go through there because you'll find all these features and functions that you didn't even know that you had on there. Okay. Go back here. Okay, so in addition to manuals and doing Google searches and stuff like that, another thing you can do is you can find literally millions of tutorials on how to do almost anything under the sun there. But we'll talk, first I'll talk about if you have software on your PC and you're looking on how to do something, the first thing that you should check is a lot of software do have a help, or you hit F1 and they'll have the most common things that you're trying to do. So that's the first place if you're looking for software how to do stuff. But there are, like I mentioned, tutorials and classes, millions of videos out on YouTube on every subject you can think of. There's also sites like Khan Academy. Khan Academy, they have hundreds of free classes on almost every area that you can think of. There's TED Talks. Here's, I mentioned here, Libby, L-I-B-B-Y. This is a app that you can put on your phone or tablet, and it connects you to your local library, and you can get access to all the books there. You don't have to go down to the library. You can check them out. You can read them on your tablet or your phone, and even magazines. I think when I was doing this, I was surprised I could go out there and even get like National Geographic, and you check it out for 2 weeks, and then you can return it, or if you need it longer, you check it out longer there. It's all these free public library books and resources. All you need is a library card. So you do need a library card, and if you don't have a library card, you go out to like the St. Paul Public Library, and they'll set you up with a library card there. I mentioned here I don't recommend buying a book because there are all these resources that are free, and I am thrifty. I don't want to spend money where I don't have to. So you can find all of this free content out on the web. If you do buy books or that, so people will have instruction manuals or buy things like that, most of those books are outdated compared to the web content that's available. So the web content usually is more up to date, more current versions and capabilities. You can search for help when you're trying to do something or run into a problem or a question. The more specific you are in your search, the better the results will be. So in this example, how to filter in Excel. So Excel is a spreadsheet. If you do spreadsheets and you don't know how to do the filtering in there, you can search for that. And let's go back here. So what you can do there is I can go and I can do a Google search. Let's go back here and we can use this again. How to filter in Excel.
According to Microsoft support, click a cell in the range or table.
We won't have it say that, but and what I can do here, if you remember, these are the simple filters. So if I just want to see videos, I can click on here and see videos. Well, here's a video here from Microsoft support on how to filter data. So I can click on that. We can go out here.
In Excel, filter data in a range or table to show the data you want and hide the rest. Cell within the range. Select Data, Filter. Select the arrow. Select text filters or number filters. Choose a comparison, like between. Enter the filter criteria and select OK. Is your data already in a table? The filter arrow is already there. Select the arrow. Uncheck Select All. Select the boxes you want to show and select OK. Looks good.
We'll stop it there, but so there's that's an easy way to search for how to do something. So numerous times I'll use Google there to search to find out how to do something, because there's nobody that knows how to do everything. So we can all learn from each other, and there's millions of these videos out there and all kinds of information there. Some troubleshooting tips. So if you're having trouble with, could be a tablet or a laptop or things like that, the first thing I tell people is don't panic. Don't panic there. Most computer problems have simple solutions, although it may take you some time to find them. So you aren't always going to find them on the first search, or it's not going to maybe be that evident. You may have to try a couple of things, but you can usually find a solution, because even if your problem is 1 in a million, because there's billions of people in the world that are on the internet and these sites out there, chances are you'll find something that will help you out and fix your problem. First thing you've probably heard, whether with a lot of electronics, is turn it off and turn it on. So reboot and restart your PC. It can solve a lot of issues. If the device is frozen on a laptop or that, you may have to hold the power button down for 10 seconds to cause it to turn off, but you can turn off all these devices or unplug it or that to get it to reboot there. And I mentioned here, all devices should be restarted once a week or at least once a month there, whether they're desktops or tablets or phones or things like that. People have a tendency to leave your phone on all the time. Well, even though it's working, it's always good at least once a week or that to power it down and then power it back up to clean up things and to start over again. If your PC or software gives you error messages, be sure to write down exactly or capture the screen so that you can search for it or show a person who's trying to help you. So I've had numerous people that'll say, well, a box popped up. I don't remember what it said. Then it's kind of hard to search for it if you don't know what it said or exactly what it was doing there. So the more information that a person has, the easier it's going to be to find help there. If you're having trouble with a specific piece of hardware, like a monitor or keyboard, your first step is to unplug it and plug it back in, because sometimes the connections of unplugging it and plugging it back in will fix your problem there. Next, use the process of elimination. Make a list of things that could be causing the problem and then test them out one by one to eliminate them. An example is your printer's not printing. Well, you can try printing a text page from your printer. So your printer may be connected to a laptop or a desktop. You're printing a test page just from the printer, so you're sure that it's not the computer itself or the queue or things like that that might be going on in the computer. So that's that process of elimination. You're trying to figure out, is the problem in the printer? Is the problem in the connector? Is the problem in the print queue? What thing might be causing the problem there? You want to try and narrow down the problem to see if it's a hardware or a software problem. If it's is it a hardware problem? Figure out your options on when to buy. If it is a hardware problem and you do have to looking to replace it, should you buy something new? Should you restore and back up, or should you reset things? For an operating system problem or question, you can go to, if you have an Apple device, you can go to the Apple Store and they'll help you out. Or for Microsoft, when I mentioned that Get Help app, that's a good place to talk to a human or do your own searches to find expert help there. In the past, some computer stores did free estimates to fix hardware problems. Now, most of the stores will charge you a cost, and that goes towards your bill if you do choose to have them fix your PC. So a lot of the free estimates are no longer out there. If it's a software or app is not working, what you can try is you can uninstall it and then reinstall it. A lot of times that'll fix problems. You also want to make sure that you have the most current version or patch for whatever software or app you have. Look under the help settings to see if there's an update for the software. And then if you're afraid of doing things or that, you can always seek help from others because you may be headed down the wrong path. You can contact me with a question, or again, you can sign up for the Carondelet computer tutors that are available on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And then this kind of goes with writing down, the error or whatever you were seeing there. Write down or document the steps that you've tried, if you did try anything, because that's helpful if you need to undo the changes that you did, or if you're asking somebody else for help, it saves myself or the computer tutor time trying things that you may have already tried yourself. If you think you may be making changes to Windows, you might want to undo or create what's called a restore point. Windows lets you kind of take a snapshot of your computer before you make some major changes or do some things. You can create a restore point, and then if you do have a problem, you can always restore it to that point. And this just explains where you can turn that on, and it'll create it for you automatically. If you're having a problem, certainly you can run through a virus scan to make sure that your virus software is up to date and you don't have a virus on the computer. You also want to make sure that you haven't run out of hard drive space. With a lot of laptops and even some of the desktops, over time they start running out of space. They may not have had that much space to begin with, and then they stop working there. Uninstall software or apps that you no longer use. So similar to doing, let's say, spring cleaning once a year, you can go through your phone or your Windows, and if you haven't used a particular app or things like that, you can uninstall it. That'll free up space, make your computer faster, and potentially less problems. And as a last resort, you can reset the device, which kind of restores it to just as if you had bought it new from the factory or from the store. That's a last resort because if you did have any data on that phone or computer and it wasn't backed up, you're going to lose that data. Okay, that concludes the help there. Questions that people have, or? And part of the presentation was just to get so that you're not afraid to look up or try and solve things, because with the internet, it's like having this wealth of information out there with the videos and with the classes and with everything that you can find just about every subject and every topic out there. So it can be very worthwhile. Okay, thank you. Yes.
I have a different kind of question.
Sure.
I would like to know